Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem, Al Shai Bashem, Maklakwadash, Shalom to the 144,000 who rest elect out there, Shalom to all. And I'm going to entitle this video, Speak Thou in the Ears of My People, the Words of Prophecy. This is from 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith Yahweh. If you go to Ecclesiasticus 39 and 1, I believe it's 1 and 2. It says somewhat the same thing concerning the importance of prophesying. See, they're making a big deal about Israelite groups, all these different groups, but are they all prophesying, or are they just out there just speaking? Mainly what you're going to hear is speak when we out there is prophecies. We're going to, most of the time, we'll go into the prophetic books, and that's what's going to happen in the very near future. And we're talking at this point we're talking months. And I see a lot of things happening when November 6th comes in, and find out who's going to be the new president, whether there's going to be a, give me a second. Or whether it's going to take a month or two to find out who the president. It may be a tie between both of the nominees, or the election may be suspended. We don't know what's going to happen. And then, let's say November 6th, the president is declared. Let's say it's Trump, or let's say it's Kamala. It'd be nice if it was Kamala, because you know what? Maybe we should vote for Kamala, because guess what? The good old boys, the Bible Belt people, they ain't standing for that. They said, no, we ain't having another N president, especially a damn W. The woo. So that could spark off a civil war, but people are on edge. They're ready to, kick something off. Especially these Bible Belt people. I keep talking about Bible Belt people and these people, these patriot people, and a lot of those patriot Edomites, some of them is Jake. They point the finger at the Jays. That's why when you go to like the Southern Poverty Law Center, they put us on the list. The Hebrew Israelites, the Black Hebrew Israelites. And but the main groups that they put on there, they're scattered all throughout the country, and even in Europe, because you have these the new neo-Nazis and the skinheads and so forth. And the skinheads came from I believe from Europe. I know from England, I believe in particular. So if they allow Kamala to be, and I said that, I didn't stutter, they select her to be the new president, I see hell breaking loose. But let's say Trump becomes a president. Trump is he's gonna follow the script. He's gonna follow the script. and part of the script is the CBDC, the blockchain as they call it, cryptocurrency, which he had a problem with, but now he doesn't have a problem with. And he did mention, and it's on video, it's on YouTube. It should still be on YouTube. Where he does a speech before he becomes president. He says the exit visa system. He said, which we need desperately. Matter of fact, let me do this. Okay, I'm focused. I'm doing this video based upon this video that put up by GMS. North Streets. This will soon be the streets of Babylon. You have the leadership of these this group, Amwas and what was the other? I can't. My memory's gone with the names. I just had it in my mind, but Amwas is one of them, and Adama. I'm sorry, Adama. It was in my head, but it left. My short-term memory is gone. When you get old, you lose your short-term memory. Adama and Amwas, which are the heads of the GMS Boston camp. So, subscribe to this video and receive all the notifications. And I believe he said this is, matter of fact, I'm going to start it from the beginning. So I'm right here. What's this? I'm 57 minutes in. I'm going to start from the beginning. I believe he said this is Kenya. And this is current news. A guy jumps on, I believe, a tower. He's on the tower. And he's looking down at the people. And this is a big, like a Walmart type store. And there's just no food. So you got people. You'll see the rest of the video. And what I'll do is I'll put but we're in the time of prophecy. What did I say I was going to do? Let me pull this up. So let's say January 20th, the new president comes in, which could be either Trump or Kamala. That's when things are going to happen. We're talking inside of six months to a year. And everything's going to move fast. And this is the way. Let me do this. Donald Trump exit entrance visa system. Donald Trump exit entrance visa system. Donald Trump. Exit entrance visa system. Donald Trump. Trump. So let's see what comes up. This is it. Okay, this one is how long? 2 minutes. I believe this one should be 2 minutes. Okay, this is I guess this is a whole speech. Donald Trump entry immigration speech with closed captions. Okay, this is Kamala. He's talking a big game, but he does not walk the walk. VP Harris on Trump's immigration stance. And they propping her up. They got people, you know, she's reading scripts, memorizing scripts. She's just a front person. Okay, so let me do this. Okay, Trump, will we ensure that other countries take people back? Okay, let me do this. And let me mute it if it's not muted. Okay, it's muted. I'm sorry, let me do this. Where's the captions at? Let me bring this back. Okay, here we go. It's on the top. Bring this back again. We take them, number 8, and we'll finally complete. So he's talking about before he became president, if I'm not mistaken. He's talking about the immigrants, the illegal aliens, migrants coming into the country and leaving the country. And he's saying there's a solution. We have to have this thing called a entrance exit visa tracking system. Complete biometrics. Biometrics literally mean, and for you for you fucking retards out there from the other camps that teach contrary, like I did a video the video was lamb back off of a video that the elder Yashwamba did about this guy making a statement that GMS is ignorant and the mark is a spiritual thing. He's just regurgitating what he learned from Naquan, which he came up under this thing under former One Westers such as GMS and Zabak. I don't know how many other Israelites groups he followed, but his stance is it's a spiritual thing. So he taught this guy. So we're being called ignorant. And like I said in that video, I believe that the people that keep, bucking up against debunking what we're saying, attempting to debunk what we're saying, I believe the Most High is gonna make them actually take it. He's gonna put in the mind for them to actually take it. So now the word, like if you was to look up the word M-A-R-K in Revelation 13 and 16, the actual word in the Greek is charagma. Charagma is a physical thing. It's also in Acts 17, I believe that's either 20, it's in the 17th chapter. It says the word graven. Something that you grave stone with or wood is not a spiritual thing. It's a physical thing. Biometric, when you come across the word biometric, bio means body and metric means measure. It's based upon the Latin. Biometric. Look it up. You got to look up words. Don't do don't do what Bishop Nate does. Don't look up words. That's why the guy said that's a spirit. The mark is a spiritual thing, but the word mark is a physical thing. Biometrics, bio meaning body, metric meaning measure. Trump, we will complete biometric entry, exit, visa tracking system. And he's talking about the immigrants, the illegal aliens, the migrants. Because the Republicans, you got the Republicans and you got the Democrats. They're left wing and right wing is the same bird. You got to look at the bird. Stop looking at the wings, the left and right wings of the eagle. Look at the actual eagle. So let me let this play without any sound. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Okay, number eight. So he gives you an agenda. Like I said, you can watch the whole thing, which is an hour and change. He says, number 8, we will, and he read from he's doing what they're telling him what to do. You know, he's controlled opposition. Look that up. It said, we will finally complete the biometric. That's the micro C-hip. That's the micro C-hip. Chip in the brain, chip in the right hand, chip in the left hand. If you lost your right hand, you're gonna get in the left hand. In Europe and Sweden, they get it in the left hand. So complete the biometric. So he's down with this. That's why he changed had a change of heart with the whole what do you call it? The Bitcoin, the blockchain, the CBDC system. He was against it, but now he's for it. And they're saying there's certain people that have platforms. I believe it was either Luke Rudkowski or which we met that guy. We talked to him for about an hour and change. And what was it? I believe he said that. He said that I believe it was him or somebody else. Could have been Tim Cass. But one of them said, or it could have been the angry prepper. He said he sounds like he's changed his tune, like he's speaking differently. Like they pulled him to the side and said, look, we'll take your damn head off. You see what happened about a month ago. You know, that we didn't want to kill you, but we could. We're just showing you what we can do to you. So he's controlled opposition. Okay, complete the biometric exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. He said, we will complete, you know how he talks, we will complete the biometric. Let me bring this back. Number 8, we will complete the biometric exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. You know how he said it. And you can watch it. You can watch it. So that's all I need. So if you have a spirit, if the Most High has your third eye open, they call it. Your pineal gland is decalcified. Now you can have a decalcified pineal gland because you're eating the right foods and not get any messages. You can have a calcified one and still get messages. When you look up the pineal gland, scientifically, if you do a Google search, it says if it's clean, then your mind is open to receive visions and dreams. But you can have a calcified one and still do that too if you're a prophet. So that's why we go into eating the right things and your diet and your exercise. So he just said it. But in that time he was against the Bitcoin. He was against that. He was against, and this is before they even started talking about the CBDC. When they started talking about the CBDC, he was well into his term as a president. we said that, well, that's one step closer to the you know what. So we see it clearly. And you got to remember, this was we're talking, I don't know what, we're talking almost 8 years ago. Doesn't give you the date. Almost 8 years ago, something like that. 7 years ago, whatever. And maybe he didn't know what was going on. But he read the script and he did what like I said, this is the third time I'm saying it. He's controlled opposition. And them good old boys, them Bible Belt people, they're gonna wake up to that. Oh, he had did a speech with who's this guy? He was on TV, and he was telling the people out there, them Edomites that were following him, or Jake that looked like Edomites. He was talking about he was against the whole C Ragamuffin. He said the first thing he said it was a hoax. Then he wound up getting it. Then he wound up taking it. And I believe after his presidency, or maybe slightly before it, somewhere around there, we're talking 4 years ago, he was telling the people there's nothing wrong with taking it. You got to go ahead and take it. And he was talking about the pharmaceuticals, not the other stuff, the ivermectin and the hydroxychloroquine. Because he said that works, but he's saying these other pharmaceuticals work, and the people started booing him. The people started booing him. His followers started booing him. So there's a lot of them that say this guy is nothing but control opposition. The ones that are the deep thinkers, and I believe a lot of them, like I said, that look just like Edomites are Jake. So when somebody rolls up in the camp or whatever, and he look like an Edomite, oh, you an Edomite. That's a guy on a low level. That's a guy on a low level. Like the guys in the IUIC, Jake came up, said he got a Chinese girlfriend. Well, she's a how do you know she's a Moabite? She wasn't even there. You got Israelites scattered throughout the whole world among the people, mingled among the people. So we're gonna look like everybody on the planet Earth. So you got low-level Israelite groups out there, regurgitating what they learned. I keep saying that. I keep saying that. Give me a second. Forgive me for that. Let me see what this is all about. Okay, Trump vows to start largest mass deportation. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. So this is one of the main prophecies we should be going into this micro C-HIP. And the more we go into it and say what it really is, the micro C-HIP, you're going to have those groups. Every time we make a video, they're going to make a counter. But like I said, I'm going to say it again. I'm sounding like a broken record. Please forgive me. But when it actually comes, they're going to have to explain themselves. Then, as the scriptures say, then it shall be known who am I chosen. Then it shall be known the prophet has been among them. They shall not wear a rough garment to deceive. The false prophets are not going to wear a rough garment to deceive. Okay. So now where am I? Okay, let me come back over here. Okay, so I'm gonna let you hear this. Read it. So this is the elder talking, and then the guy is gonna start talking in an African accent. I believe this is Kenya, if I'm not mistaken. And like I said, they're gonna use this. They're gonna cut the food. We see them cutting the food supply off, and they're saying, in order for you to get this, give me a second again. Forgive me again. In order for you to actually start eating, you have to get the Karagma. It'll start with like a credit, like a debit type card, bank card, debit card. Everything's gonna go digital. Everything's gonna go digital. No more paper checks. And then it'll go to your smartphones, where people already have it in their smartphones. I can take my account. I have my bank account in my smartphone, so I can see the transactions. All I got to do is go to my smartphone, but I can also have my debit card in my smartphone. If I go to like a BJ's, I don't need a card no more. I got my smartphone. I wave it over. Then the next step, as we've been saying for years, we never changed. We never changed. If you go back to 2010 or whatever, 2007, 2014, we never changed. We never changed. We taught when we went into the breakdown of the Revelation 13 and 16, we never changed it at all. If anything, we'll add to it more information, and we're adding to it right now. But anyway, so it says this will soon be the streets of Babylon, which is America. This is Babylon the Great. And when you tell these Christian Edomites, when you go on their pages and say, "Is America Babylon?" or "America is Babylon," they don't want it. They don't want to touch it. It's a hot potato. All right. So, okay. So I'm gonna let it play so you can listen. I mean, so you can read, because like I said, I got it muted. Okay, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, the one apostles and elders, bishops, great millstone, Shalom, brothers, Hebrews, continue fighting the good fight. Right, this is a spirit. Now, this is spirit. The fight that we're fighting is spiritual. Number delivered all. Okay, I'm just going to. I guess it's now. You can put a no. They did. Touch up on this video real quick. I'm going to get into two deeper things. One, to make a couple of comments. All right, and I believe that he said he believes it's Kenya. It's somewhere in Africa. If you listen to the video, and this is the video right here, you can watch it. If I remember, I'll leave the link in the description box. Right here. And you're gonna see, the guy's gonna pan out, and these people look and sound desperate. And they're going to have certain countries that they're going to use. Okay, we're going to target this country, this town, then we're going to spread. Let's see how many people then take the micro chip. Because ultimately they're going to do it for a card. They're not going to give you the chip now. This could be another 6 months to a year, maybe even a year and a half. But it's right at the door, literally. It says, I believe this is over in Kenya, and as you see, I'm going to play the video, but as you see, there's a massive amount of people, and there's a man who's recording. Now it appears he's climbed up on one of those towers there. Yeah, because you can't use a smartphone unless you got a tower, right? those are antenna towers. He's recording down, and now upon the people, and he started panning around a little bit, and listen to what he says. Government, what is, he said, what is the government, or what is the government? What is the government? Look how people are struggling. People are struggling to have food. Look at people. Look at, okay, let's look at the whole up. Just take a look at the whole. I plan to stay today. Look at that. Look at that. People are desperate, man. And they got money, but there's no food. You got money, but there's no food. You got to eventually switch over to a digital system. The whole I plan to stay today, no way entrance, no way out. At the hold up, okay, let's look at the outside. You're trying to go out from just, can you see the hold up? Can you see the cars? What a turn it down here. So you see what he's talking about. He's saying people are starving and people are going hungry. So it appears it may be a local market or a local Walmart or something, and the masses are coming to get food, and clearly there, let me bring this back. Masses are coming to get food. And clearly, there's no food. There's no food. So people are going to be desperate. So if they say, okay, we're going to change everything to digital, then you can eat. People's stomachs are going to be growling. Babies are going to be crying. You know? And they don't know the scriptures. They don't know about Revelation. You got Bishop Nate over there to these different African places, and they're not going to know not to take it because the leadership of the IUIC is not telling them that. So when it comes, they're going to take it. They're going to take it. And some of them won't if they're of the elect. Food to be got, and as he pans around, you can see the gridlock of the traffic. All right. Now, and this happened with the C Ragamuffin. I remember. You had to be home by 8 o'clock. I was out past 9 o'clock, man. And I even saw police officers out there, and I would wave to them. And I would walk or run or whatever. So, if a police officer wanted to give you a hard time, they could. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, and when I went to buy stuff, like I went to a particular Target that was maybe 25 minutes away from me. There were some closer, but I just kept going to this one. And every time I went there was always a line of about 30 people, 25 to 30 people. They all had masks on, and they would all be let in one by one. And if there was too many people in there, the line would just stand still. And I remember when you went, normally what I'll do is I don't buy a bulk of stuff. I'll buy 3, 4, 5 things at most, and I'll do the self checkout. And I remember they didn't accept any coins, and they didn't accept any dollars. They didn't accept dollars. Remember, one of the reports was, paper dollars have the C Ragamuffin on it. So you can see the fix was in. And then there was shortages of a lot of things. There was shortages of a lot of things. The different foods, some of your favorite foods, there was shortages of it. You had a lot of, and then it's still going on. After what? Going on 5 years? You go to these supermarkets and there's shortages of certain things. The markets are packed again, but there's certain things that you get, maybe like soap or certain other items that are short. Certain shelves are empty with something. You have the tag of what's supposed to be there, and it'll be totally empty. It'll have one thing. So that was all. It was all planned that way. Nothing happens by accident. In government, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can best be assured it was planned that way. And I believe FDR said that, if I'm not mistaken. The government plans things, all right? So that's why now you can go to, let me do this. You can go to 2nd Ezra 15, 2nd Ezra 16, and this is happening. Getting ready to happen in a big way to lead to the microchipping, and the majority of the people are going to take that chip because they're not going to know not to take it. Like I said, you got the IUIC that went to various different parts of Africa, and the people are not going to know whether to take it or not to take it because, Bishop Nathaniel has an opportunity to tell them, oh, that's a micro C-hip and it's going to come, and don't take it. Because if you take it, you may not, make it on the ship if you're on the elect. Or whatever, however you're going to say it. So we all know this. We're all familiar with this chapter, and this chapter in the next chapter, which is 16, right? It says, and cause them to be written in paper, Habakkuk 2, for they are faithful and true. In other words, all these prophecies that's in this one book, the scriptures, this is why we won't waste time with the Kemetic community. We're not going to waste, and I want to have a debate. I said, well, you know what? We don't have debates. Or what, are you scared? Nope, we just don't want to have debates. Okay? Or you can say, give me $50,000, we'll have a debate. When the Most High then tells us to come here and join the set up a debating team. Captain Zarak, he likes to do this debating stuff. Now, while you're debating with somebody and the people are watching it to be entertained, you can be actually teaching people. Oh, and by the way, it was Captain Tazariak and Captain Kazak that kind of made a joke about 2 years ago or so. A couple years ago, maybe 3. And they referred to GMS as the high priest of GMS is Alex Jones. But they didn't mention our names. They didn't mention GMS. And they laughed at it. And, I didn't get mad. I said in the video, I said, look, you could have mentioned our names. We know you talking about it. We don't get offended. We don't get offended. You can say GMS, they're going off there. I don't care. Cause what's gonna happen is you're gonna find out who has the truth and who doesn't have the truth. And when I say the truth, I'm talking about the 100% truth. Because you have IUIC has a lot of truth. IUIC, they hit a lot of good. They say a lot of good things, but they don't have the full. They don't have the map book. They got a map book with missing pages from it. They got a 25-page map. Them old map books before GPS. 25-page, 30-page map books. The big ones, the real big ones, that they put in your trunk. They have a map book, 30-page map book with 5-6 pages missing out of it. So it looks like they're going the right way, but they're not going to go to their destination. And I'm gonna say what a mafia said. He said this to Nate in the back with the Cornelius thing. He said, "Close the book, close the book, close the book." And Nate said something, and then he said, "Look, if you fast and pray, you see it. Well, maybe you should fast and pray and ask the Most High. I could be wrong. You suppose that Hey, you're supposed to examine yourself. You're supposed to say, maybe I'm wrong. We said it with the Cornelius thing. We said, well, maybe we're wrong. Let's go on the fast. We wouldn't teach the same thing since we got on YouTube, before we got on YouTube, concerning the MOTB, if we had doubts about it. We have no doubt about it. Now you can pretend like you got doubts about it, but you got doubts in your mind. Or either you got paid off. Like I said, I'm not going to read this whole thing. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. We know Egypt spiritually is called America. Egypt shall mourn, or America shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. Right, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, their houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. So if you go to the market and there's no food, you're going to start knocking on doors of your neighbors to see if they got food. And it says you're not going to regard your neighbor. You're not going to love your neighbor. And men shall have no pity upon their what? Upon their neighbor. They're going to take what they got because they're going to starve. So if we got to kill you and your family to take your food, we're going to do that. But shall destroy their houses with the sword. Modern day sword is a gun. And spoil their goods, take their food, and what they can use, electronics or whatever, because of the lack of what? Of bread, food, and for great tribulation. The great tribulation is time of Jacob's trouble. So this goes into the Jacob's trouble. There shall be a time of trouble that you cannot compare. Matter of fact, let me go to that, and then I'm going to close. Go to Daniel. I'm going to read it in the NLT. Daniel 12. I'm going to go to the NLT. So we broke down all the scriptures. We gave you the whole Bible. We broke it down. If you watch all our videos, the various different videos, different topics, you have a full understanding of scriptures. So now what we're doing, we're kind of, psychoanalyzing different videos, and we're doing lambacks, and we're constantly reviewing, what we've been taught. So a lot of times you're going to hear the same scriptures, mainly the prophetic scriptures. It says at that time, Michael, which, by the way, you got idiots out there that say Michael is Yahushai. I wouldn't be surprised if Bishop Nate started teaching that. Well, he says Yahushai is now the Father. We never knew the Father. I don't know who Abraham was talking to, or the being above him in the spiritual realm talking to Abraham. Was that the Father talking to him? Because Isaac is Yahushai. Unless he can cast his voice and talk like a ventriloquist. Isaac is how do you explain if Yahushai is a heavenly Father, how do you explain Isaac, which is Yahushai, unless you say, well, Isaac is not Yahushai, or Solomon, or Melchizedek. It says, Michael the archangel, who stands guard over your nation, which are the Israelites, will arise. Then there will be a time of anguish greater than any since nations first came into existence. But at that time, which we're coming to that time, every one of your people, the ones that are the elect, whose names, right, which is elect, is written in the book or the book of life or the Lamb book of life, will be rescued. It says, many of those whose bodies lie dead and buried will rise again. Revelation 11. Some to everlasting life. Ultimately, all of us to everlasting life. And some to shame and everlasting contempt. Shame and everlasting contempt really ultimately goes, because ultimately, the ones of our Israelite that don't make it, they're going to make it. So they're going to have everlasting life. Shame and everlasting contempt are the nations. On a macro scale, those who are wise will shine, as then it shall be known who are my chosen, as a sky, and those who lead many to righteousness. What does it mean to lead many to righteousness? Tell them the truth and they come into the truth. Will shine like the stars forever. But you, Daniel, keep this prophecy a secret. Close the book, close the book, close the book. A mafia. Seal up the book. That's also in Revelation 5. 7 seals until the time of the end. So we're in the time of the end because we're going into the scriptures and we understand this. We understand the whole truth. That's why we say we got 100% truth. And you're not a prophet if you don't have 100% truth. You have an unction from the Holy One. You know all things. When many will rush here and there, and knowledge will increase. Technology. You couldn't, they had when I was a kid, you had the Dick Tracy. And Dick Tracy had a watch that you can talk. It was a cell phone in the watch. And now, and that's old school. That's old. That's old, man. So anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom on to the next shalom.